Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, I'm Jared. I write Ruby sometimes. I have been writing Ruby sometimes for somewhere around 8 years professionally anyway. These days I run a software agency. We build e-commerce systems, storefronts using a Rails engine called Solidus. We like it because it is extremely flexible, because Ruby and Rails are extremely flexible. I'd rather be working in it than on any other e-commerce platform out there. Today we're not doing e-commerce though, we're doing Advent of Code puzzles. Yet again, we are on day 9. And to go with day 9, I have day 8 of this lovely whiskey here. We are doing Glencadam, or however I'm supposed to say that. A 10-year from Scotland. They note it here, a lot of fruit flavors in this one. I haven't decided how I feel about it. I only had a tiny sip, but we'll see how it helps me with these puzzles. The first 5 days we did TCR, where if I run my tests, if they pass, the changes will be committed, and if they fail, the uncommitted changes are thrown away. But I've stopped doing that to focus more on the problems as they get more difficult, or rather focus on their solutions. Though I should probably focus on the problems more, because I tend to make reading errors. Mamesy likes it. Oh, the scotch. Yeah. I don't think it's bad. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the kind of scotch for me though. I also just got an M1 MacBook Air, but it is not set up, so I'm not streaming on it yet. But we'll play with it. We'll do some puzzles on it. How do I think recent days would have gone if I'd done TCR? Really hard to say. Definitely longer. I think yesterday would have probably gone pretty similarly though. I just would have really struggled through breaking down the algorithm I needed to write. Day 9, encoding error. With your neighbor happily enjoying their video game, you turn your attention to an open data port on the little screen in the seat in front of you. Though the port is non-standard, you manage to connect it to your computer through the clever use of several paper clips. Upon connection, the port outputs a series of numbers. The data appears to be encrypted with the Exchange Masking Addition System, XMAS, which, conveniently for you, is an old cipher with an important weakness. XMAS starts by transmitting a preamble of 25 numbers. After that, each number you receive should be the sum of any 2 of the 25 immediately previous numbers. The 2 numbers will have different values, and there might be more than one such pair. For example, suppose your preamble consists of the numbers 1 through 25 in a random order. To be valid, the next number must be the sum of 2 of those numbers. 26 would be a valid next number, as it could be 1 plus 25 or many other pairs like 2 and 24. Okay, I understand. 49 would be a valid next number, as it is the sum of 24 and 25. 100 would not be valid. No 2 of the previous 25 numbers sum to 100. Okay, so it's the sum of any 2 of the previous numbers before it, not necessarily the first 25. Okay. 50 would also not be valid, though 25 appears in the previous 25 numbers. The 2 numbers in the pair must be different. Yes. Suppose the 26th number is 45 and the first number, no longer an option as it is more than 25 numbers ago, is 20. Now, for the next number to be valid, there needs to be some pair of numbers among 1 to 19 and 21 to 25, or 45 that add up to it. Okay, that's a lot of examples, but I think I understand. In this example, after the 5 number after the 5-number preamble, almost every number is sum of 2 previous 5 numbers. The only number that does not follow this rule is 127. The first step of attacking the weakness in the Xmas data is to find the first number in the list after the preamble, which is not the sum of 2 of the 25 numbers before it. What is the first number that does not have this property? Okay. First of all, somehow my glasses got dirty. That's not going to work. Can do a puzzle without my my glasses on one day. I just won't be able to read the chat because the chat's on the right side of my screen, and my right eye is the one that isn't good at seeing. Okay, we can take a quick look at the puzzle input and see that they did not lie. It is an endless, not an endless. It is a very long series of numbers. Oops, I did not set things up. Whoopsie. Busy day today, so. Let's. Yes, I mean, they could serve a yeah they could serve like a WebSocket where you could just keep reading numbers, but they probably would oops, sorry, I'm talking to chat without chat visible. The people watching on YouTube need to know. Yeah, they could do that. That would be excessive, I think, but kind of funny. Could just loop after a point so that it didn't like. I guess it wouldn't even need to use that much memory because it would just throw the numbers away as it kept going. All right, sorry. We are here. We're going to write some code. We're going to write day 9, part 1. Already got a new tab. Let's open our numbers in it just in case we need to refer to them. But we're not going to write a parser for this. We are going to just split new line map to I so that we have an array of numbers. Then we're going to do the traditional act of looking up the Ruby array and Ruby enumerable documentation. Didn't need to type documentation, but my fingers typed what I was saying. Now, we are going to use enumerables each cons. Each cons iterates the given block for each array of consecutive n elements. And so we need each consecutive 26 elements, and we need to find the first, for each of those, we need to look at the last one and ensure that it is the sum of 2 unique previous digits. Which I think is relatively easy. But I keep saying that and then spending an hour on puzzles. So as a programmer, I guess estimating things is not my forte. So we'll say input each cons 26 do X variable naming, and we'll say let's just use pry. So x dot last is our last element, and x 0 to 25 is 24 inclusive. Is the other 25. Cool. So number equals x dot last, and candidates equals x 0 to 20. What did I decide? I needed 24. And apologies, I am tired today. I did not get a good night's sleep last night. So we need to take this and do something with it. Let's just pry this thing out. Cans dot what is the method for this? Combination to, does it return an enumerable? Sure. Dot any the answer can't be in the first 25 numbers. The first 25 numbers are the preamble. But good question, good question. So that's what I would expect to work. Oh, but that's not quite, not the right thing. Z.sum. Yeah. I think I did that right. Return num unless okay, I don't think I explained myself very well there, but we got the right answer. So what I did was, for each set of 26 consecutive elements in the array, I look at the last one, because the last one is the one that I need to check the validity of, and I check that I don't need spaces in blocks. We check that some 2-element combination of the first 25 elements that are in our consecutive set add up to the number, and if they don't, we return it and get our right answer. So there is day 9 part 1. Push that right up to GitHub so that you can steal it if you like it, which apparently Worm does. You're welcome to it. And let's move on to part 2. The final step in breaking the Xmas encryption relies on the invalid number you've just found. You must find a contiguous set of at least 2 numbers in your list which sum to the invalid number from step 1. Again, consider the above example. In this list, adding up all the numbers from 15 through 40 produces the invalid number from step 127. Of course, the contiguous set of numbers in your actual list might be much longer. To find the encryption weakness, add together the smallest and largest number in the contiguous range. In this example, these are 15 and 47, producing 67. Okay. So one way to do this would be to go through the entire array, and for each element, start counting through the array, summing it up until you're either at the number or past it. If you're at the number, then you return your goalposts, and if you're past it, then you move on to the next element. Seems coherent. I guess we can try to do that. I feel like that might not be the best way to do it, but so the sum that we're looking for is just super, and then we need to loop through 0 to input dot length -1 each do start, and then that's where I always mess up that math. So if you have an array of length 3 and you're at index 1, then you have 0, 1, 2. Let's say 4. Let's just make sure I do this math right here. 3, 4. You are here. That means the largest offset is 3, so it's okay. So well, I guess I don't need to do that math. I can just skip that math. So I can do start to input length -1, as long as I spell length correctly, dot each do end, and then return start plus end if input start and sum equals sum. Right, that's not going to run the right solution, and also apparently a syntax error. Oh, I named a variable end. It did not like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Return, finish. There we go. Why is, oh, that's funny. Not the right answer. If you're stuck, make sure you're using the full input data. There are also some general tips on the About page. Okay, not the right answer. Doesn't change my output. So let's say, first of all, did I read this correctly? I am adding them. Well, let's just examine where we are when we get into this conditional. Start is 537. Oh, those are the indexes. I added together the indexes and not the values at them. Come on, chat. Yeah, catch that stuff for me. Yeah, because they were going to be they got to be big numbers. Oh, it's not the right answer. Well, start, finish, input, start, input, finish. Uh-oh. No, that's right. That's fine. And so there's nothing weird. I'm not doing anything really silly here. That's the number I submitted, yes. What am I missing? Let's read the puzzle, because that all makes sense to me. Find a contiguous set of at least two numbers. This one is at least two numbers. I didn't add that condition, but sure. No, I guess I did. Your list, which sum to the invalid number from step 1. Okay, we can write a test for this. So, I guess I don't need to do anything with that. And we expect that to be 62. Well, oh, but I didn't parameterize the, okay, so I didn't parameterize this to add an optional size 5. So we're looking at size 5. We're not gonna use key arguments. That looks hideous. Optional argument followed by a keyword argument. Is that even valid? At size, and this should be size plus 1, and this should be size minus 1, and the default size should be 25. So that should have our one still passing. Okay, so nothing's good. Let's just test the real input in here, since we know, since we can look at what our solution was. What am I missing? Part 1 test. Assert equal. Okay, there we go. There it passed. I was so confused. Okay, so we can see that with that refactoring, I'm getting incorrect values out of the test, out of our test here. So we can hit that. We can examine our input. We are supposed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are getting start 1, 2, finish. Oh, sorry, 2 is this one. 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And $127. It's producing the wrong value for the test input? What was going on? Okay, well, let's test the test. I am, this is sus test. This is the real input. But we can also test the sample input. Oh, no, I was getting the right answer. I'm just, see, I warned you I was a little tired today. Rereading the last 2 paragraphs. Yeah, that's usually my problem. I will do that after I finish typing this test. Oh, I forgot to. Okay, yeah, I was right. Okay. Oh, not the first and last number, the smallest and largest number. Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. That's okay. Good catch. Thank you, Hoth. So here we actually return we'll say range equals input start finish. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair thing to miss. So then if range dot sum, then we just want range dot sort dot first plus range dot sort dot last. Test pass. That is probably the solution. No? No? Oh, I ran the wrong puzzle. Shh. Whew. Oh, 42 seconds. We got tests passing and everything, so we know it's probably right. Guess we just drink the whiskey. Really interesting flavors. Mamesy, Hoth, how do you feel about today's? I'm torn. I mean, it's definitely good. It's just, I don't know if it's for me. Alistair, I have on, I believe as it's usually the case that you have whiskey. You need only go over to your whiskey and pour yourself a tiny little dram. Do you have anything really good right now? There we go. So, day 2, we got tripped up yet again on not reading the instructions. Something that happens, you know? Thanks everyone for coming. I will be back again tomorrow night, hopefully. Maybe with the MacBook Air, with the M1 MacBook Air, maybe not. I have not decided. I don't know how much time I'll have. If you are having fun with this, follow me on Twitter, SuperGoodJared. If you need an e-commerce site built on Rails, check out supergood.software. And with that, I am going to go fall asleep. Thanks, everyone.